Howdy folks, and welcome back to War Thunder with the mighty Jingles. This is one of the toughest War Thunder arcade battles I can remember playing in recent memory. I've got a rank 4 British lineup here. It's Domination on Peleliu. Most of my aircraft are around about battle rating 5. I start off in the premium Mustang. All 20mm Hispanos. Not as powerful an engine as the regular American Mustang. It doesn't have the supercharger. Come on. Come on. There we go. Did I successfully capture? I did. Hey! Or at least I got credit for it. And you'll see the fella behind me has executed a successful Jingles landing. He's wrecked his aircraft. Hang on, that's my job. Anyway, usual tactics. Built up a lot of speed in the dive there. Put it back to use, gain some altitude, swing this thing around, and let's see what we can shoot down. This is the Princess Elizabeth skin for the Mark II Premium Mustang, by the way. I think it is absolutely beautiful. I actually saw this aircraft flying at the Imperial War Museum Duxford Spring Air Day last year. There's a video up of it, funnily enough. So, looking for a target. I'm basically looking for people making themselves a target. Anybody who separates themselves from the pack while keeping a good look around me. I found that I'm playing arcade differently as a result of my experience in realistic battles, and that's not always a good thing. There's been a number of times I've been playing arcade, like on the crater map for example, and I've spotted a Yak 9T 2 kilometers below me and thought, yeah, no threat. 15 seconds later I'm getting shredded by 37mm cannon shells, and I'm, oh yeah, it's arcade. Dope. So, target selection time. It's not necessarily who's the most dangerous, but who can I kill without taking damage myself. And it's looking like the Beaufighter. There's a Typhoon coming in as well, but there are at least 2 friendly planes turning to engage the Typhoon. The Beaufighter is also putting himself into a low altitude turning fight, which makes this really, really easy. I just have to, you know, watch out for getting shot at by my own team because it's arcade. Repeat the manoeuvre on the Typhoon, who isn't paying attention to me. He's got plenty of problems of his own. And this is a much better attack vector, so I'm going to be more accurate. Got it. Go into a climb and whoa, BF-109 G6. That could have been nasty. I had no idea he was up there while I was tunnel visioning on the Typhoon. Luckily, there's a Zero chasing him, and he's more interested in bugging out and getting the hell out of there. Well, he would have been in a perfect position to get an easy kill on me. So, thank you for the top cover, Mr. Zero Pilot. Meanwhile, there's some furious fighting going on over our airbase while I'm chasing down this Year 2. And as I'm chasing him, I'm thinking this is not necessarily a good idea because he came down in a dive, he's quick, I'm not necessarily going to catch him, there's 2 other pilots on him, but then he turns into me and just makes it easy. Now, at one point just there, the enemy team occupied both air bases, and you can see the furious dogfight going on over our airbase. One of our team has just recaptured. Now, at the moment I'm top of my team list. I haven't been shot down yet, and I've got 3 air kills. The best guy on the enemy team is flying a Mark 10 Beaufighter. He's been shot down once and he's got 4 air kills. Let's just say that the positions at the top of the leaderboard are going to change hands several times throughout the course of this game. Now this is where I do something stupid. There's a Focke-Wulf 190 over at the 2 o'clock position that we've just lost in the clouds. There's also a BF-109 up ahead of us that we've also just lost in the clouds, and I make the mistake of diving on this PE-3, but it's a terrible angle. He's got 3 fighters on him anyway, and that was just a complete waste of time. I've sacrificed a load of altitude for nothing. Meanwhile, the Focke-Wulf 190 is dived down and he's starting to shoot at some of these patrol boats, and I can see 3 aircraft going for him. and I decide that going after the Focke-Wulf 190 is a waste of time. Right, he's getting shot at by flak, he's got 3 fighters on him. I'm wasting my time chasing him down, especially since he's just leading me away from the battlefield. But remember, there's a BF-109 up there somewhere as well. He's still hiding in the clouds. And that's making me mighty nervous at this point, because I am the first target that he's going to encounter if he decides to dive. So I decide to leave the Focke-Wulf 190 alone, head back to the airbase. You'll note that all 3 pilots who were chasing that Focke-Wulf 190 have also abandoned the chase, and there's an LA-7 coming in now. So I turn around to try to engage the LA-7, which turns out to be a waste of time because the I-185 takes him out. Now the Focke-Wulf 190 has used that time to build up some altitude. Now there's a low cloud on this map, and I'm just about to reach the cloud layer when suddenly an IL-4 pops out of the clouds, doing a bombing run on our patrol boats. I'm ducking and weaving, trying to avoid his gunner as I close the distance on him, and my usual terrible shooting, but I do some damage and I take out one of his gunners. Bring it around, and he's pretty much ignoring me and just trying to get these bombs away. More damage to his airframe, kill another one of his gunners, and he's throwing this thing around, but he's throwing it around a little bit too much. He crashes. I did the last bit of damage to him, so I get the kill. Now this is kind of bizarre. There's a guy here in a Spitfire, and I don't realise it at the time, but he's actually armed with bombs. Okay, another kill. I was the last person to hit him. When the second bomb he dropped killed the second patrol boat, he scored a double strike. But he was so low when he released the second bomb that he blew himself up. I got credited with a kill. But it's things like that that just don't make any sense. Spitfire is exactly the kind of aircraft you want to be flying on a domination map like this. It's all about the air kills and the base captures. Why on earth would you fly it as a bomber? Going after rubbish like patrol boats that you can kill with your cannons and machine guns. It just doesn't make sense. Not that I'm complaining, of course, because it was an easy kill. You know, if you ever end up on the opposite team to me in a game, by all means, please keep using your Spitfire as a bomber and ignore enemy fighters. Especially if I'm one of the enemy fighters. You help yourself. Meanwhile, I was just a little too late. P63 nails the year, but I do at least get an assist out of it, or at least a hit, so it wasn't a complete waste of time. And you'll note that I haven't really left the vicinity of our own airbase. There's pretty much always been something to shoot at over here. Like, for example, this IL-10. Now he's got 2 guys on him. I'm just checking around, making sure there's nothing lurking above me. Keeping an eye on Wehrmacht 44 over there, who's climbing into the clouds in his Focke-Wulf 190. And we've now lost sight of him. Meanwhile, the IL-10 has shot down the Zero who was going after him, and then crashed into the Zero who was going after him, writing his own aircraft off. And I'm getting very, very nervous about that Wehrmacht 44 guy in the Focke-Wulf 190 who has disappeared into the clouds. So nervous, I almost don't see this bow fighter, and this is where it all suddenly goes to rat shit. I turn to avoid the bow fighter, but getting out of the way of everybody who was going after him wasn't that easy. So this could have been better. I'm now basically flying on one wing. And do you remember that guy in the Focke-Wulf 190 who flew up and we lost in the clouds? Yep, there he is. That guy, Wehrmacht 44, in that Focke-Wulf 190 A5, he's going to be my nemesis in this match. I mean, he wasn't going after me in particular. This isn't one of those, oh, everybody always goes after me and arcade matches whines. Not at all. He just killed anybody who went anywhere near him. He was really, really good. You'll see the scores at the end of this game. And it's not just him. The individual scores in this match are what makes the end result of this match so surprising. But more on that at the end of the video. For now, I'm in the Spitfire Mark 5C, one of my favourite aircraft in the game. 420mm Hispanos, very manoeuvrable, very capable aircraft. At this stage of the mission, I had not yet learned to give Wehrmacht 44 the respect he deserved, and I was harbouring thoughts of revenge. That's usually never a good idea, and common sense does in fact get the better of me. If the first thing that you do after you get shot down is immediately make a beeline and try to get revenge on the guy who shot you down, that means you're ignoring all the people who aren't the guy who shot you down, and they usually end up killing you. But I am definitely keeping an eye on him, and he is coming at me again, so I have to turn around to face him. And we both do some damage to each other, but nothing critical. And he has the sense to not try to dogfight with a Mark 5C Spitfire. Instead, he's opening the distance. And the Spitfire is a lot of things, but particularly fast it isn't. I'm not going to catch a Focke-Wulf 190. But at this point I'm getting the impression, mistakenly, that this guy just has a massive hard-on for me. He totally doesn't. He just kills anybody who goes anywhere near him. So I decide to lose myself amongst all these friendly fighters down here and see if I can get myself a sneaky kill, which I can't, but I get a hit, so at least it's something. And I'm checking above and behind me to see if he's taken the bait and come after me, and of course he's not nearly stupid enough to put himself into that sort of situation, so I've managed to get away. I'm safe. Checking around for the positions of friendly fighters. There's lots of us around here. There he is. He's diving on somebody. Oh, he's going after the bow fighter. He's got the bow fighter. And he's turning all that speed into altitude again. And there's one hell of a dogfight breaking out over here, and throwing yourself into a furball like this is always dangerous. But it can yield very, very nice results. You just have to keep an eye on the radar, and the second you see any tracer coming in from behind you, immediately evade. Target fixation in a furball like that will get you killed over and over and over. But this is the point where some absolute hero puts us back into the game by capturing the enemy airfield. Up until this point, we have been trailing. Whoa, got to evade, got to evade. Up until this point, the enemy team has always had double the amount of tickets that we have, and this is what puts us back in the fight. We'd spent the first 3/4 of the game just fighting them off over our own airbase, and now we're finally taking the fight to them. Just have to try to prevent them from recapping. Oh crap. Wehrmacht 44's behind me. This is not going to end well. No, didn't think so. Oh well. And to add insult to injury, well, they haven't recaptured their airbase. They have decapped their airbase, but they have managed to sneak 2 aircraft around the back, and they've gone and captured our airbase. So our brief respite was exactly that. It was very, very brief. So I jump into the Mark 9 Spitfire, and you can see there's a couple of guys down there sorting out the problem with our own airbase. And look at those scores. There are 3 pilots on the enemy team who between them are responsible for shooting down 30 of our aircraft. And those ticket counters are just bleeding away. But the guys over their airfield are fighting furiously to deny them the opportunity to recapture it. The 3 guys who were over our airfield, okay, they've managed to recapture their airfield. We have recaptured ours. They're still way ahead of us on ticket scores. This is going to be really, really close. There's another assist. Is this just going to come down to who's got the most aircraft left? Because if it does, it's going to be them. Some of them have only been shot down once and have racked up 10 kills. Once again, the enemy team has got double the amount of tickets that we do, and both teams control one airbase. And with the amount of kills that the enemy pilots, I mean, that Wehrmacht 44 guy has only been shot down once. He's still flying the same Focke-Wulf 190 that shot me down in my Mustang. If this comes down to a battle of attrition, and by that I mean which side can shoot down all of the enemy aircraft first, then we have already lost because they just had better pilots than we do. Just continuing to throw ourselves against superior pilots is never going to win this game for us. Somebody's going to have to do something heroic, and I would love to be able to tell you that it was me, but it wasn't. I have no idea who just did that, which rock star on our team just captured the enemy airfield, but now all we have to do is make sure that they do not recapture it. We need to haul ass, get everybody over that enemy airfield and fight them to a standstill for the next 15 seconds, and we've won this game. It doesn't matter that they're better pilots. It doesn't matter that they've shot down more of us than we have of them. We control the real estate. We win the game. And frustrating though this has got to be for the pilots on the enemy team, because they were kicking our asses all the way through this match. I just love the fact that you can snatch victory from the jaws of defeat like that in a game of War Thunder. When you see the individual scores, you will never believe that we managed to win this game. There is just no way we should have won that. They had 3 pilots, one in particular, who were just arcade pilots who were just in a different league. There they are. Look at that. 2 guys with 10 kills, 1 guy with 11 kills on the same team. The team that lost. I mean, we didn't even have anybody on our team who could touch their top 4. I mean, I went 6 kills for 2 losses, and that's all right. Wehrmacht 44 over there, 10 kills for 1 loss. That's just ridiculous. And yet, we won. You see, it's not always about the number of kills that you get in a domination map. You win domination by capturing air bases. And the 1 kill that they needed to get more than any other, those guys could have shot down nobody in that match other than, I think it was the Year 2 at the end who sneaked in and captured their airbase. That's the 1 guy in the game that they really, really needed to kill, and he's the 1 guy that they managed to not kill until it was too late, and that is what cost them the game. And I think that is hilarious. Although I somehow doubt that there were many players on the enemy team who thought it was funny too. As always folks, watch your 6, and I'll catch you next time.